Good afternoon. I think this is my last message in English, and I feel so relieved. I don't know why I have such a hard time with my mind. I can think in Spanish, I can speak fluently in Spanish, and when I have to do it in English, the words don't come out. I get stuck. So I write it down so I don't get lost. But you did understand me, right? Okay. Okay, well, thank you so much again for having me. It's been a gift from God to be here, and friends are a gift from God as well. Good friends. Brown people, white people, every color people, right? They become your friends, and you get to know them and love them. I thank God for Mrs. Cox. She's not here, right? She was my beautiful, beautiful friend. And I love her so much. She made me feel so comfortable every time I was with her. And I will never forget her. But today I want to speak a little bit about true friendship. Being sometimes we want a good friend, but we might not be that good friend. So being a true friend, the Bible says to have friends, we should show ourselves friendly. I grew up in a home where I grew up in a home alone. I was the only girl, and my brother never had any fellowship with me, so I grew up by myself, and I was very, very shy. I didn't want to talk to people. I would actually take a book with me wherever I was, and I would open it and read it, and I was giving a message. Do not bother me. I'm reading a book. So God, in his own way, led me to be a pastor's wife. Can you imagine that? And I was full of hurts, pain, not friendly at all. And when I became a pastor's wife, I thought, I think God made a mistake here, because I don't know what I'm doing here. And I remember the first year, I used to hide in the bathroom. And I used to wait there until all the ladies would go home, because I didn't know how to speak to them or how to deal with them, until my husband told me, you need to be friendly. I said, but I'm very shy, and I don't know how to deal with women. And I know that we can cause a lot of problems, and I don't want problems. And I'd rather be by myself. That way, I don't have any problems. And he said, nope, you have to learn to be friendly. He said, do you know not being friendly is a sin? And I said, what? I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not sinning against anybody. And he said, yes, because you're a selfish woman. You're not giving of yourself. So part of being friendly, you can learn to be friendly. You can learn to put a smile on your face and tell people, welcome, I'm glad to see you. And I was the type of woman that I needed to learn to be a friendly woman. And it's fun, so much fun, you know. And so Proverbs contains so much wisdom about being a friend and how to find a friend. There are fewer things in life that are more valuable than a good friend. God has given me good friends, and I treasure my good friends. They've been there with me in the good and in the bad, and every time I need them, they're there for me, and I thank God for that. To find a friend, we have to be a friend. To be a friend. My oldest, my girl, when she was little, she came crying to me and saying, Mom, my friend just spoke bad about me, and she was crying. And I said, really? So I was praying, and what do I tell her? And I came and I asked her, have you ever spoken bad about your friend? And she said, yes. Did I tell you this already? Because I forget. I did, huh? Okay, so you know the story. Okay. So she learned, and we learned together, that to gain a friend, you have to humble yourself before a friend. And you need to learn to say, I'm sorry and forgive me, because we have also not been friendly to other people. You know, we get hurt because somebody spoke bad about me, somebody said things about me, but don't we do that as well? And we need to ask God to forgive us and teach us to keep our mouths shut many times. So Proverbs 18:24 says, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. And I hope you all have a friend like that. There's no key to having loyal friends or making friends in the first place. The only key is that you have to show yourself friendly, constantly. Die to yourself and give of yourself every day. To trust, how do I trust a close friend? A friend keeps a friend's secrets to himself. We can destroy a friendship when a friend trusts you and me with something that is of value to her, and then we spread it around without any permission, or we comment about what she has said. And that can destroy a friendship, not being loyal to the friend. Okay, so there's a verse in Proverbs 17:9. If we go there and read it, 17, verse 9, it says, he that covereth a transgression seeketh love. So if I keep that trust of that friend in my life, I'm showing what? Love. I'm not going to say it. But he that repeateth a matter separates good friends. We separate each other. And sometimes we wonder why that person stopped being our friend. It's because we destroyed that friendship with gossip, with a critical spirit, and it's not good. And we have to learn to be that kind of a friend, that loyal friend that if she trusted me with something, I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to stay quiet. Friends will always tell you the truth. A good friend. Do you have a friend like that that will tell you the truth? Stop eating that way. Or, you know, you're doing something that's annoying. And you take it from the friend because you know she loves you. So friends will tell you the truth even when it hurts. My husband is my best friend. And there's times that I want to tell him something, but I won't go because I know what he's going to tell me. So I'd rather go to the Word of God. And I'd rather have God tell me what I need to fix in my life. But a good friend will tell you things that might hurt you. Like when somebody hurts me and I keep dwelling on that hurt, have you been there? And you keep going to him, but it hurts. I never thought that she would say that about me, but it hurts, honey. And he comes out and says, stop it. Stop talking about it. You know what it is? It's pride in your life. Oh, that hurts. You know, you keep pounding on that hurt. Let it go. Take it out of your mind. Give it to God. A friend will speak to you that way. Instead of, I'm so sorry. I know she's so bad. I know that woman. And you keep pampering your friend. That will not help. So Proverbs 27, 5, 6, if you go there. Proverbs 27, 5, 6. It says, open rebuke is better than secret love. So if you have a good friend and she tells you like it is, thank God for her. Thank God for her. Have you gone to church with different earrings? One red and one blue? I've gone to church with different pair of shoes. And when I'm walking, I'm limping, and I'm saying, what's wrong? Two white shoes, one with higher heel and a lower one. I said, but I've been at church with two different earrings. And people stare at me. But they keep talking to me like nothing. until a good friend comes and says, do you know you have 2 different color of earrings? I say, I do. And then you wonder, how come they never said anything to me? They just stare at me instead of saying, hey, something's wrong with you. Okay, that is a good friend. And I said, thank you for letting me know, and I take him out. But a good friend will tell you the truth. Better, it says here, open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Ooh. Faithful are the words of a friend. So thank God if you have a friend that's constantly telling you the truth, and it will help you grow. It's better to hear it from a friend than to hear from an enemy, isn't it? So thank God for those friends. Also, choose your friends carefully. We need to choose friends that very careful. Psalms 1 was about that. Choosing a friend that it's not going to take you in the wrong path, that will give you good counsel, that will help you grow. A person becomes more like those that they associate with. Isn't that true? There's a saying in English, if you hang around, help me with that. You become a turkey.
Oh, I don't know that one.
If you're an eagle and you hang around with turkeys, you become a turkey. Is there another one?
You will become the people you're with and the books you read. That's the one I like.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to become a turkey if you. I like that one better. Okay. In Spanish, there's one that says, "Tell me who you are with, and I will tell you who you are." So, Proverbs 13:20. If you go there, Proverbs is full of advice to us as far as having good friends. Proverbs 13:20 says, "He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed." So learn to choose a good friend, a friend that's going to help you grow in the Lord, a friend that when you get together with her, she's going to come and tell you, you know what I read this morning? And the Lord spoke to me about this. That's going to help you. You don't want a friend that's constantly bringing you gossip, or they said this about you. As a pastor's wife, I had ladies coming up to me and saying, you know that they said this about you, but I defended you. And what's the first instinct? Who said, and what did they say? Who was that woman? And you want to ask her, what did they say? And she said, but no, I did not. I stood quiet. I said, next time they talk about me, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Just defend me. You know, but we need to be careful who we speak with. Because when I went home that day, and this lady's good for bringing trash, information. Yeah, that's not going to help you. That's not going to build you. So as a woman, you look around, and I wonder if it was her. I wonder if it was that one right there that she's talking to. And your mind keeps going. I went home all day. Who was talking about me? I wonder what they said. And it brought my spirit down. So we don't need a friend that's going to come and bring the wrong information to your life, because it goes to your mind, and it makes a nest in there. And you're dwelling on that. And all of a sudden, you're not joyful. Then your husband will ask you, what's wrong with you? And it's that thought that is eating you away. Gossip, I tell my ladies, I'm not a trash can, so don't bring me your gossip. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it. So Proverbs 13:20 is warning us to walk with the wise people. Look for wise people around you that can help you grow, that can help you stand upright by the rivers of water, that you're not going to be moved. Because if you hang around with, in Spanish it's necia, and I think English is foolish people, you're going to become a fool sooner or later. And we don't want to be that person, okay? Also, the Bible warns us not to hang around with hot-tempered people. Okay, Proverbs 22:24, if you go there. Hot-tempered people can cause a lot of harm. Proverbs 22. 24 and 25. Says, make no friendship with angry men, and with a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his way and get a snare to thy soul. So if you have a problem with being a hot-tempered woman and you don't have friends, this is why. Nobody wants to be around you, because you're the type of woman that will lose your what's the word? Your temper easily. And there's women that are so sensitive to everything that you need to be careful of what you're saying, because they get offended and then they become angry at you. So it says, be careful to hang around with this type of people. Do not hang around with them, because a bad company will corrupt what? Good morals. Constantly. You hang around with critical people, you're going to become a critical person. You know, I had somebody working with us, and she would come and bring everybody, oh, they said this, oh, they did this. And we were like constantly hearing her complaints, until one time I told her, stop. I said, you know that whatever you're saying is also causing us hurt? And she said, but what am I doing? Sometimes we don't notice. I said, everything that is critical, you bring it up. And it's not good for you, and it's not good for us. So stop. A good friend will make you see that. Will make you see you're always complaining, or you're always criticizing, or too much gossip in your life. And you got to thank them for that. Thank them. I had to say to my friends, be careful the way you talk to your husband. Be careful the way you answer him. You might not be listening, but you have a harsh manner of answering your husband. Why do I tell her that? Because I love her, and I want to make her see that it's not right. So good friends are constantly doing this. In English, iron keeps sharpens iron constantly. Good friends do that. But make sure that you're answering your husband right before you tell somebody else not to, because that friend will reject that advice from you. Godly friends beget godly behavior. David understood that Jonathan was true and a loyal friend. The friendship of David and Jonathan in the Bible is such a beautiful example of being a good friend. He was a worshiper of the true God. In Psalms 119:63, it says, I am a companion to all that fear you. I am your friend. And that's what God says to you. I am your friend. Constantly. Okay? Those who fear God, those are the friends that you need to be close to. Friends that fear the Lord. Friends that when it's Sunday, I'm going to church. That you don't have to be dragging them, inviting them to come to church. But friends that have a commitment with God. When it's time to go soul winning, friends are there. Your friends are there, ready to go out soul winning. Those are the friends you want to keep together. Friends that can invite you for a prayer time. I need prayer. Can we pray together? Those are the friends we need to be close to. So choose your friends. Godly friends beget godly behavior. You will soon discover that their godly values will rub on you because you're learning from them. I learned from a lot of pastors' wives, their sweet spirit, the way they talk. When I was a young wife, I had a pastor's wife that taught me, not with words, but with actions, how to love her husband. She would love her husband to death, take care of him, serve him. And I was barely married, and I kept looking at that, and I said, I want to be that. I want to do that. I want to learn from this woman. So find friends that can teach you and get closer to God and give you wisdom constantly, that wisdom that we need. Find fair and foul weather friends. Friends that are those that stick with you during the hard times. Have you had a friend like that? During the hard times. I don't know if you knew that I fell down the stairs about 6 years ago, and I broke my vertebrae. I broke my hand. My hand was literally hanging. They had to put a plaque with 11 screws in there to hold it together. My ribs were broken, and when I came down the stairs, I broke the wall with my body. I made a hole in the wall, all this. And the doctor said, you should have been dead. I don't know why you're alive. But your accident is like if a semi-truck came and hit you. That's how bad it was. And when I was in the ambulance, I was going into a shock. And I remember telling my husband, sweetheart, I'm dying. I'm dying, I love you. And I knocked out. I don't know what happened after that. I woke up in bed. They gave me surgery on my hand. They checked to see if my lungs were punctured. And the doctor came in and said, you're a woman full of suerte, luck. You're a woman full of luck. I said, no, I'm not. I'm a woman blessed by God that left me alive. And she said, you should have been dead. I had a patient like you last week, and she died. But you're alive, and I don't understand why. He said, your vertebrae were broken from side to side, but your spinal cord is intact. Nothing happened to it. Either you were dead or you were paralyzed. But here I am moving. And I had to exercise my hand, my arm. I couldn't even lift my arm. But during that time, my best friend stood by my side. That was my husband. He took care of me. He bathed me. He combed my hair. You should see how he combed my hair. He cleaned the house for me. He canceled all his appointments just to stay by my side. You know, and we were talking about, I think you were teaching about not understanding people that are going through difficulties, such as drug problems, alcohol. I understood them a little because they gave me Oxycontin, plus another one that becomes addicted. So my pain was so bad that I kept taking that Oxycontin. And my husband went to the pharmacy and asked, can I have another refill for Oxycontin? And thank God that man that was by his side said, don't give your wife that. She's going to be addicted to that, and it's going to be a hard time for her. And it was, because he came back home and he said, I said, where's my pain pill? I already wanted it because of the pain. And he said, I'm not giving you that anymore. I said, you have to. My pain is too much. He said, no. And for a whole week, I needed to detox myself from Oxycontin. And I was having anxiety attacks. And I was crying. I wanted to go to the street and let a car run by me. That's how bad it is. You start shaking and having withdrawals and sweating. And I thought, wow. It's easy to say, well, he needs to stop taking his drugs or the alcohol. But sometimes it becomes so addicting that your body's craving it. So that taught me to be more loving to people that are going through all that. And instead of judging them, helping them. But my friend did everything for me those 3 months. And he took care of me. And I thank God for that. Plus, other friends came by, and they took me out for a walk when I was having anxiety attacks. And they would come from driving a whole hour, let's go walk. And we would walk and talk. A friend like that will be there for you when you need them. They will be there to support you and to help you. I remember my husband, after 3 months, after a month and a half, he had to go to the Philippines. It was a big meeting in the Philippines, and he had to go speak. But I needed my friend by my side. And I told the Lord, I've given up a lot, but this time, don't take my friend from me. I need him. And I'm not going to be feeling selfish if I tell him, do not go. I'm keeping him this time. I need him. And God said to me, you can do without him. I'm your friend. I can be with you. And my husband came and asked me, if you tell me not to go, I won't go. And I wanted to so bad say, don't leave me. My girls were there with me, and they told Dad, don't leave her, Dad. She needs you. She needs you to hold her hand. You're the only one that understands her and that can help her. Don't not leave her, Dad. And I had to say, go ahead and go. Go ahead and go. I'll be fine. I have my friend that will never leave me. And every night when I went to bed, I thought, maybe I'm going to die tonight. And I would hold my husband's hand. Every night I would say, hold my hand, just in case. And he will hold my hand all through the night. And that night that he left, I had to tell Jesus, hold my hand. Please hold my hand. Because I don't know what I'm going to do. God clearly told me, what's going to happen to your life when I bring him home? What are you going to do? Is life going to be over for you without that friend? You have to look at me and trust me on what I'm doing. And that night, before he left, because of the drug in me, I couldn't sleep. I was nights awake. I could not go to sleep. And that night that he left, when God said, give me your friend, and I will be your friend. And I said, you can go to that meeting. I remember he left with my son. That night was the first night that I slept through the whole night. My friend, Heavenly Father, put me to sleep. He said, stop bothering, go to sleep. Sleep all night. And my husband called me the next day from the Philippines, and he said, how are you doing? I said, honey, I slept all night. I'm so happy, I can sleep now. And he said, that's good. But when he went to the Philippines, God opened doors in the Philippines to have more meetings, to preach the gospel. What if I had been so selfish and said, no, I need you, stay with me? I would have closed the door. So it's good to have Jesus as your friend, and it's good to hear his voice and say, this is what I need to do. So become that good friend that you need. My husband is my best friend. Couples, before they get married, they should make a friendship with that man that you're going to marry before you marry. get to know him, get to love him before marriage, because you're going to end up with a wonderful friend for the rest of your life. This type of friendship is an image of the relationship that Christ has for the church. The Lord loves his church. He gave up his life for the church. He died for his bride. And in the same way, a friend loves her friends as they love themselves. Through thick and thin, be there for them. I had a good friend when I was a single girl, but that friend caused me a lot of problems. She was jealous. When I started dating my husband, she stopped talking to me because I didn't have time for her. And I said, well, I got to date my husband. I don't have time for her. Okay? She needs to find herself a boyfriend. And I remember she was so close to me that when our friendship just divided, she left Jesus. She stopped coming to church. She went into the world. She started drinking. And she died in a head-on collision on the freeway. And I cried so much because I thought, I lost my friend. Maybe because I didn't try hard enough to reach out to her. Maybe she did need me, and I did this. So always ask yourself, what can I do for my friend? Is there something I can do for you? Give up for you. Become that good friend. The biblical model of friendship is between David and Jonathan. You all read that. The friendship between David and Jonathan, knowing that Jonathan was the son of David's enemy, King Saul, they still were close friends. Saul was out to kill David because he was insanely jealous of him and knew that he would replace him on the throne of Israel. Jealousy can divide friends. There's no room for jealousy in a friendship. Saul's son, Jonathan, knew that he was such a loyal friend of David that he alerted David of the danger that his father wanted to kill him. Jonathan told David that whatever you want me to do, I'll be there for you. I'll do it for you. Jonathan warned David about the plans of his father. Here's a friend that went against his own father for his friend. Now, Jonathan knew that he would inherit the throne for being a king. He could have probably said, well, I'll let somebody kill David so I could be king. He knew that David was going to be king, and he helped him to get there. And that's what a good friend does, right? Helps another friend to take another step. Even if you are down, you lift up your friend to get where he needs to be. Jonathan was a loyal friend to David and made a plan to warn him about the deceitful plans that his father had. Well, I don't have time, but you read that in 1 Samuel 20:18-22, what the plan that they had. Remember? Throwing the arrow in. Okay, so that's the plan that they did together. But it amazes me how jealousy can really ruin a friendship. Jealousy between friends can terminate a friendship. So do not let jealousy come into your heart. Let that friend shine, even if you do not. Even if you're on the bottom of the step and they're up here. Cheer for that person. Help that person. Jonathan risked his life for David because Saul was full of anger. And remember, Saul also threw an arrow at Jonathan, wanting to kill him too. And he told him, the son of a rebellious woman. In Spanish, it's really bad, the way it expresses it. But we see this, and we can learn so much from David and Jonathan. faithfulness, no jealousy, no envy between friends, even willing to give up your own life for that friend. That is a beautiful lesson that we can learn from them. Let's try to be that kind of a friend that is willing to maybe suffer, do whatever it takes to make that friend happy. True friendship is something that's a gift from God. So treasure that person in your life. The fact is that friends are indispensable in this life. The older a person gets, the more value their friendship becomes. I have friends that are not in my church anymore. They moved to Iowa from California. But I remember those friends. When my husband would travel and I had 5 little ones, one of them had croup. And at 5 in the morning, she couldn't breathe. And I remember calling that friend at 5 in the morning, asking her to come with me to the hospital. And another friend to stay with my kids. And both friends said, I'll be there. And then I asked myself, I don't know if I would have gone, at 5 in the morning. And they went with me to the hospital. I discipled one of those friends when she came to Christ. And we became so close together that she was willing to do anything for me. And she would always take care of me. And now, as we grow older, we treasure those moments. And we talk about those moments. And my value for her has grown so much. Many friends are closer than brothers or sisters, right? Even closer than your own true sisters or brothers. They become your family. Do not forsake your friend. Do not forsake your friend. Always be thankful with your friend. Always write her notes and tell her thank you. Send her a gift. Appreciate your love for her. The value of friends is one of the most important things in a person's life. Their worth are not diminished by time, not devalued by inflation, not worn out by use. It improves with time. It becomes better and better and better. And there might be pain in that friendship, but the result of that pain, it becomes beautiful, like a pearl in the oyster. It says that when that oyster is shaping itself, it throws out this substance that it's painful, but it's building a beautiful pearl. And that's how our friendship should be. Even if they do you wrong, forgive and keep loving her. Keep helping her. And I love the verse that they put here. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. So doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. The sweetness of a man's friend, their counsel, the actions they show for you. So be thankful for that good friend. Don't ignore her. Invite her for a cup of coffee. As a pastor's wife in my church, a lot of ladies said, I want to spend time with you, but I know you're always busy. And they never invite me because they think I'm always busy. And always. I was going to invite you, but I know you're always busy. And I said, next time, invite me. I'll go with you. I'll go for that cup of coffee. I'll go to dinner with you. Invite them. Take time for them. Love them. And I'll let Mrs. Shook pray, but thank you for having me here. I love you, even if I don't know each one of you, but you're special people. Thank you. Pray for me as well. God bless you.